Are you looking to start a YouTube channel, or maybe you've started and done a few videos, but you're looking for some added inspiration? Well, I am going to share with you some tips that I learned from making over 200 videos here on my YouTube channel over the last now 4.5 years or so, getting monetized and finding some pockets of success in my videos, so stick around. Before we jump into it, I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, but I execute events here and all over the world. I do want to remind you to like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell so you get notified every single Monday when I drop new videos. I'm also the co-host of the Better Events podcast with fellow event pro Mary Davidson. We drop new episodes every single Wednesday where we dive even more into some of these topics that I talk about here on my channel. Not so much about this topic of success on YouTube, but more about event planning, event production, running your own business, tips for being a stage manager, and much, much more. So listen wherever you listen to podcasts. So I am revisiting this topic about strategies for YouTube. I covered it back when I did 100 videos, and now I've done 200 videos. So I'm going to link that video down below if you want to go back and watch. That's where I gave you 10 tips about YouTube. And I will say, going back and rewatching that, a lot of my advice still holds strong. You're going to hear a little bit of information repeated, but with the fact that I've now done double the amount of content since that video. So here we go. I'm going to break it into 3 buckets: strategy, logistics, and we're going to talk about money at the end. So tips that I've learned from making YouTube videos. First off, this is my first one from 100 videos ago, and I still find myself telling people all the time, from the strategy perspective, just start. Seriously, just start. If you've been thinking about having a YouTube channel, just make the video. You're never going to be ready. This is something that I think was easier said than done, and I had the fortune of it being during COVID, so I had some time on my hands. But really just knowing you're never going to get better at this until you do this, and acknowledging that you're never actually going to be perfectly ready to, 1, record a video, 2, post the video. Just do it. You never know. I forever am so grateful that I took that leap way back when. And so just start when it comes to YouTube. Another more recent tip that I've started implementing is to create playlists. I ended the year last year with a 5-part series or framework that I like to use to figuring out what AV my clients need for my events. I used to do, if you look at my first couple videos, I loved talking about these topics, and I found I was pretty long-winded and or dove in probably a little too deep. I have found over the years, and over 200 videos, folks like small, bite-sized, get to the point, give them that juicy piece of content. And so taking a big concept and breaking it down into pieces both is better for your users, your listeners, your watchers, but also the algorithm of YouTube really likes playlists or a series, like a part 1 of 5 or part 2 of 5. So this is something, if you look on my channel, I'm starting to do more of, but I have seen some early success with that. And my third tip on strategy is to lean into content pillars that take off on YouTube. So for example, I have a ton of videos that have a lot of views on Zoom. And a lot of this was I just posted at the right time. I answered a question that a lot of people were having. And those videos to today still have a lot of views. Now, what I'm going to go do, because I posted those videos back in 2020 and 2021, and Zoom just looks a little different these days, I'm actually going to re-record almost exactly what I showed folks, but with that new update of what's happened in the last 5 years. And I constantly am still doing videos for Zoom, where most people seem to find my content, but don't get so hung up on what's viral, and still make content that is relevant to you or your business or your brand or your content pillars. Like, for example, my Zoom will always have more eyeballs on my videos, but I do a lot of videos on event production, and I found more of the right people find that video in terms of hiring me or making me a piece of conversation. One fun little anecdote, I found out from an event agency I work with that I was the conversation of one of their Slack channels, where someone posted one of my videos of where I was explaining what iMag is, image magnification, how you see people on using a camera, you see them on screen nice and big if you're sitting far away. And somebody was like, we should do those videos. And another person got to go, we should, but also we hire her all the time, which is just a funny little moment where my videos have a life of their own that I am never privy to unless that person had told me. So that's just kind of fun. Do not just go by what goes with the algorithm. Still continue to make things for you. Now, on the logistical side of things, I said this back when I did 100 videos, and it's still true, and I just even double down on it, but batch your recordings. I try to sit down and do anywhere between 3 to 5 recordings at a time, mainly because getting all set up, getting all my things ready, making sure my hair looks good, all of that takes time. And if I was doing that on a weekly basis just for one video, I was losing time. And so what I do is I really try to sit down and do that. It also then helps me, as I've been the one editing my videos, to then sit down and just edit 4 videos at once versus a video here, a video there. So find time, carve it out, batch your recordings. And my second logistic tip is to create a template for yourself. This is something I use the most basic video editing software possible. I'm in iMovie, and I have a template where I always have my short hook or intro or question I ask that hopefully you're like, yes, I need the answer to. Then I do my little housekeeping, follow my channel, look at my podcast. Then I get to the meat of my video. And then at the end, I do a very short wrap up and plug. And I always have the same like little outro slide and music. And that just helps give me structure. So figure out for you what that kind of template formula is. I've tweaked it over the years. I've adjusted it, but it is still generally the same. And it makes editing my videos and recording them so much easier because I know how I want to kind of start, middle, and end it. So make that template. My last piece, talking about the money side, because I think a lot of people hear YouTube and they see big, big dollar signs in their eyes, and they don't realize that like 200 videos, this has been almost 5 years of recording. And I'm doing weekly videos, and I've just kept going with it. I think I got monetized 2 years in, again, from having some videos, pick up on YouTube. But it has been something where I have continued to grow with the amount of income that I'm making off of YouTube. Now, 5 years in, I will say I'm just making about like $100 to $200 a month, which a month is not great for doing 4 videos, but it is a passive stream of income, meaning I'm making money on videos that I posted years ago. And I have set it up so it's a way that I don't even really notice how much I'm making. I send it straight to like a savings account I have. And only when I get my tax forms at the end of the year do I go, oh, that was like, $200 a month, add that up. That's a pretty decent chunk of change. So I would say the money is there if you are interested in it, but that is not the driving factor for why I continue to make content. I have seen this more as a branding opportunity. It's a conversation starter for me, and I truly have gotten clients both directly and indirectly from having a YouTube channel. So hopefully you learned something there with some of the lessons learned I have from my 200 videos on YouTube. I'm excited to see if 300 another 100 videos from now, my strategy changes. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.